Anyways, let's get into this. We have a couple of anniversaries this month, and what a pair here. We have Bob over in Pittsburgh and Brandon over in Chicago. An unlikely bromance that formed between these
Right?
two
I
gentlemen
love
at a
this guy,
Made This Live.
for
Yeah,
sure.
these two are so awesome, and
Yeah.
yeah, totally killer that they're at the 1 year mark already.
Yep. Love it. Cool. Guys, you'll continue to see Made This Live slides. This is something we'll roll out more information about. But man, we are deep in the planning, which is super exciting, and the ideation and the theming and all of the stuff. So more info coming out in the coming months. And make sure if you haven't yet, mark the calendar for that weekend in October. We're going to be back at that really cool hotel in Clearwater. So can't wait.
Yeah, let's talk about the community involvement from the franchisees, otherwise known as communities. We have pictured left here Stephen and Ted over in Columbia, Maryland, grabbing looks like a delicious plate of food there. Stephen routinely makes trips around the country and visits franchisees in their home territories. So really cool to see that connection there. In the middle, this is from San Antonio, Juan and Jimena, doing eventing. They had a huge event at actually the day of this recording. They're there now with a table and a bunch of swag, trying to get a bunch of Airbnb customers at this massive San Antonio short-term rental event. So they've been out there. They're really good at that, and they got some custom mugs, or what are those called?
Yeah.
Thermoses?
Like tumblers.
Tumblers, that's it.
Yeah.
Custom made this tumbler. So cool. Then on the right here, this is actually kind of unique. We have one of the vendors here that we use has been traveling around and meeting up with franchisees in the areas that they're at. So at the top here, we have Tara, who is our New Jersey franchisee, meeting up with Eddie and his family. And then down here on the bottom, we have the Atlanta franchisees, Lindsay and Devontae, in DC with Eddie and his family again. So really cool to see that the community, even as far as the vendors go, like people are still linking up, and this is totally awesome.
For sure, man. I like when these roll in throughout the month. That's cool.
Me too.
I also like when these roll in. We have a channel in Slack about big wins. It's an opportunity to just really get to kind of brag on yourself and call things out. There's nothing too big or too small. We've got a lot of folks here who hit some pretty cool milestones. Two of these guys are super new and have really pushed the limits on what we think new franchisees can do right out the gate. And it's awesome to see that like coming to fruition and that they're sharing that. We've got a couple other locations here who have been around a little longer. There's some cool contracts that people are landing. You can see Doug in Baltimore over there got connected with somebody who also is a property management branch that's out in the Columbia area. So he's able to pass some business onto them. Again, talk about the power of the network and the franchisees. That's really cool. And you've got Orlando and Courtney here too, just talking about some of their own respective wins in their locations. So love getting to see that every month with franchisees sharing.
Yeah. Speaking of franchisees sharing, our most recent franchisee roundtable was a mini panel on recruiting. And we have two franchisees pictured here, center and right, that have had some awesome success with how they build their teams and how they actually do the recruiting process from like top of funnel all the way down to longevity and cleaner care. Then on the left here, we have Arturo, very long time internal operations person at the Los Angeles and San Francisco locations. And he came on and shared some awesome tips from like a decade basically of recruiting cleaners in multiple markets. So it was fantastic. One of the most highly attended roundtables that we've had. So thank you all for showing up and making an impact. But it's great because recruiting is a very hot topic right now. I think we're talking about that in a bit.
Yeah, definitely. And we'll continue to do these monthly roundtables and we keep the content as fresh as possible. So looking forward to what's coming up in May as well. And speaking of fresh content, man, I think this is kind of a sleeper. If you're a franchisee and you're not checking these out, by the way, I think these mini internal podcasts, and they roll out weekly, it's hosted by Steven featuring Neil, are really great little, probably 6 to maybe 12 minutes in terms of length. You can just see here too, he covers everything from things we're working on in the system, rolling out, and we highlighted this last month, Go High Level 6.0. The whole big focus there is really to improve the conversion rate for first-time cleans with the net initial month period. He talks about a promo that they ran in LA. We'll talk a little bit more about how the promo was successful in LA, and then we tried to test it in other locations. We'll share about that in a minute. And then he also gets into some mindset stuff about beware the victim mentality. So some really cool nuggets here. Micro acquisitions is a new tactic too. I know that Neil's testing out in LA, something we've got our eyes on as well for the rest of the system. So for franchisees, this is just for us. It's just internal. And the folks that do listen to it have really great feedback. So just encouraging anybody to take advantage of that.
For those of you who have been watching, you've noticed that the place in which Neil is doing these podcasts has changed dramatically to some awesome leather couch and leather
Right? Doesn't it
jacket.
look professional? Yeah.
It's looking so cool. I don't know if he built that out or if that's a
Yeah.
rented space, but definitely has my attention.
For sure, man. Yeah, let's talk cracking the code too. Guys, this kind of is our internal franchisor, effort at cracking the code. And the initial focus here was on the front end in terms of paid lead gen. Two of the things that we've been testing out pretty heavily, Google Ads, pay-per-click. We've worked with a couple of vendors over the last few months, partnering with franchisees and looking at that. And then also the Facebook contest giveaway, the whole concept. You saw us reference that in what Neil did in LA. It's a giveaway of 12 months of free cleaning. That actually made sense. It worked in LA. We ran it in a couple locations here with other franchisees, and it really wasn't as successful. So our commitment is to be transparent about any of the tests we do. We'll continue to invest in that. We invest time, money, resources. We partner with franchisees. We're looking to make data-driven decisions. So far, these two are just meh. So not necessarily groundbreaking, but that lets us, one, go back to the drawing board and say, do we need to look at the vendors? Do we need to look at some sort of offer? Do we need to just look at a different marketing channel? So we'll continue to make progress there and share the results with the system. The other thing would be recruiting. So first quarter, we felt like we made some pretty good impacts on that lead gen, the paid lead gen funnel, primarily with bringing in Eddie, who's a Meta ads vendor now in the system. Our goal this quarter is looking at recruiting, looking at it just like we do for a client funnel. How can we, from the franchisor side, help improve the experience of franchisees running cleaner applicants through a funnel? So more to come there, just teasing that out. We are heavily involved with franchisees in this and really excited to make an impact.
Absolutely. Speaking of making an impact, happy Mom's Day coming up soon, and we have a promo running for that. So we're pushing out a $40 off code to celebrate Mother's Day, right? Just your classic give a gift to mom kind of thing. So $40 off. This is one per person, one per booking. Not combinable with other promos, discounts if they're already on the discount program, right? At your discretion, you know what I mean? But this promo is set to go out here in May before Mother's Day, so that your customers, both new and old and converted, unconverted, whatever, can redeem if they want to. So very cool. I love when these promos go out because you get like a surge of leads that you forgot about, and you're like, cool, let me book some more business.
Yeah. And it's a good call out that that's something we're managing on the back end. So franchisees aren't having to do that and schedule it. That's something our marketing and tech team are coordinating.
100%. Just like marketing and tech team does a ton of tech support. So guys, if you've ever tried to get a hold of anyone in tech support, they're always there and on it. But the reality is they are working on so much stuff in the background. Not only are they getting in front of your tickets through Cleanobi, but they're working on brand new locations. We have another 4 you'll learn about in next month's Kaizen. We have transfers going on now too, as we mature in the franchising space a little bit here. They're building out AI agents for recruiting, our big crack in the code on recruiting push coming up. They're working fervently on that, as well as coordinating and working with a new Google Business Profile partner, trying to get new pins for existing locations and new locations spun up as quick as possible with a Google Business Platinum partner vendor that we have. So some really exciting stuff that they're working on in addition to all the stuff that we send them.
The day-to-day, regular. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
like keep those guys busy for sure.
Big shout out there.
Yeah. Really excited about this. This is a new preferred vendor we just rolled out. So it's called Review Harvest. These guys do a couple of things. You get a platform. We have a discounted rate for franchisees that's lower than the current published rate that they have, but it's essentially a review platform that ties to our Launch 27 We can do a couple of things. We can load prior contacts, and we do kind of this effort to reinvigorate or go after old contacts who haven't left reviews yet. And we also have different triggers in the background that say, based on so much time and you have control over this, after a clean, we're going to send out that automatic request. One of the things here that works really well and why this converts is because these guys aren't just sending an SMS message, it also has a photo. So all franchisees get to upload a photo of themselves, their team member, maybe a cleaner. The point is to put a face to the request. And the impact that we see on that, we had a couple locations tested out. One who's been around for 3 years now was at 81 reviews. In a matter of 8 weeks is north of 120 now, I think. So pretty impressive in terms of what we can do with this. Really excited to roll it out. And yeah, looking forward to seeing those reviews roll in.
Yeah, really incredible progress there. I mean, a 50% review increase in 2 months after 3 years in business, that's a heck of a tool for sure. Details are in Slack too, if you want to get signed up for that, but really awesome. You should. It's going to help a lot. For Cleanobi here, just a general reminder, if you don't know what Cleanobi is and you're checking out this video, that's okay. No shame. Cleanobi is not only our ticket submission portal, whatever you want to call it, for tech help, but it is also intrinsically linked. The roots have grown through all of our SOPs, our operations manual, even our Slack conversations. Just today, somebody asked me a question, and I asked Cleanobi the question, copy pasted it in, and it linked like 6 Slack chats and the ops manual and said, here's the data that you need. I sent it back to the person as my answer. I was like, I'm so smart. But just a general reminder, Cleanobi is not just for submitting tickets. If you have questions for tech or something like that, instead of DMing, working one-on-one, just submit a ticket in Cleanobi. And it's as easy as this. If you have the Slack app, if you don't, message your coach. If you have the Slack app for Cleanobi, you go in, you type in hashtag ticket, or you don't even need the hashtag. You just write, I need to make a ticket about X. It's conversational. So it's not like a code or anything like that. You just write what you want and then write the word ticket somewhere in there, or, help, and it's going to make a ticket for you. So this is so simple. What it does for you, it gets everyone's eyes on this. So you're not just DMing one person. You're not just DMing me or Jenny or Eric or Horacio and whatever. This gets the whole organization's eyes on it to get you the help as fast as possible and in the appropriate department too. Maybe you're messaging the wrong person. So please utilize this. It is totally free for you. If you don't know what it is, don't know about the Slack app, whatever, let us know. We'll get you on this ASAP, but it is such a useful tool.
For sure. And again, there's multiple reasons why this is helpful, even for our side of things. When we see trends or we see requests or tickets, that lets us also evaluate and say, have we not provided maybe the right kind of information, training? Do we need to answer or make sure that we have Notion or SOPs that do provide the correct answers? So this is wildly helpful for us to build a sustainable and scalable support system. So we'll continue to talk about Cleanobi. And yeah, we'll continue to also roll out enhancements as they do the same from their end.
100%.
Well, speaking of just like tech and robots, we did roll out, and it probably took us a little bit, a new AI Slack channel dedicated just to that, to AI talk. So we've got a lot of franchisees in the system who are AI geeks, and it's awesome. Everyone's invited to it, so don't feel, no one is forced to contribute if you're not comfortable. But just as an example of some of the things that we're starting to share and hive mind together, and I think it was actually Neil who cranked this out. Make your marketing collateral, in seconds based on all the back-end information that this has been fed, which is essentially our brand guidelines. So this is just an example. I think someone else shared a cool pricing tool. There's a lot of discussions here about potential agent opportunities. What are other people testing out in their markets? So from our end too, we're paying attention. And if there are certain things that we can roll out more systematically, or things that we think are really going to serve the franchisees, that's going to end up, potentially as rocks or tasks that we're looking to tackle. So really excited about this channel and tapping into everybody who really gets the whole AI world. With that, guys, we'll kind of wrap it up. As always, if there's something we can do different or do better, let us know. That's important to us. And yeah, it's a joy.
Catch you on the next one.
Sounds good.
Later. Thanks, Jenny.